Yo, what up? We're just gonna dive right in, man. Before we jump in, this right here is that Dead Space remake. Now, I can vouch for this one. Now, this is a remake. This is what a remake should be. This is a game that came out around, I would say around 08, 2008 on that 360 PS3 era, right in the middle of that era where it was just popping. When we actually had games, those AAA bangers that was just fun, and we were actually on Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network, and just, man, we just had so much fun, man, back in those days. So we're gonna pretty much let a journalist pretty much break down this game, walk you guys through it a little bit to kind of give you like an insight on how the game is going to be, what you can expect, and the reason for the remake pretty much. So here we go, and we're going to touch on some more topics later on.
As far as I'm concerned, the original 2008 Dead Space still looks and plays pretty good today. Its art design alone goes a long way towards keeping it looking fresh amongst 2022's next-gen dazzlers. But despite that enduring appeal, Dead Space is yet another classic game getting the full remake treatment, and where developer EA Motive seemingly uncovered the most space for improvement is in the margins and fine details. No matter how well I think the original holds up, it's admittedly nothing compared to what EA Motive showed off to the press during our lengthy preview of the upcoming remake. My time with the preview build evoked fond memories of the original while reminding me just how gnarly Dead Space was in the first place. While gruesome games were admittedly in their golden era during the mid-2000s, Dead Space really tried to outdo the competition. I definitely blocked the necromorph babies from my memory, but here they are, ready to skewer you through the head if you aren't too careful. The USG Ishimura, where Dead Space is set, is reborn, hissing and more sinister than ever.
They all came back.
The Ishimura is hands down the least welcoming ship in any universe, and being able to see this rust-colored behemoth in even greater detail is breathtaking. It can also be fully explored without any loading screens or cutscenes. To be able to freely walk through this terrifying labyrinth only makes one of gaming's greatest locations even more glorious. Motive has made a big deal about how new tech like this can be found underneath the hood, from the peeling system that gives the necromorphs even more layers to surgically hack away, to audio tech that dynamically reacts to whether Isaac is hurt or not. But beyond these cosmetic changes, Motive has introduced one more impressive trick to add a layer of intensity that didn't exist previously, aptly called the Intensity Director. The Intensity Director was developed to solve an interesting side effect of the remake's more open map. While Dead Space originally relied on scripting terrifying moments for maximum scares, this Ishimura deserves to be explored to its fullest. But that means if you backtrack, you might not be worried about going into certain rooms that you've already cleared. The Intensity Director says, not so fast. Its presence isn't overly advertised, but it's always there to shake things up or disturb you in new ways if you're ever feeling too safe. According to Motive, there are hundreds of events that can play out depending on the dice roll, from environmental effects like light and smoke to even necromorph spawns. Some can be very subtle, and it took a couple of instances of backtracking for me to think to myself, wait, did this room always hiss like this? Rather than thinking of these additions as game-changing, the remake's new features make an already great game even better. The peeling system, for example, as Motive calls it, adds layers upon layers to the necromorphs, giving each horrifying monster additional flesh, tendons, and bones to hack through. The ability to dismember your enemies is still satisfying, but the added gore only makes the experience that much more, and it seems appropriate to use here, visceral. The peeling system is also an appropriate metaphor for the remake itself, which is focused on increasing the depth of an experience that fans already know and love. All this is to say, if you remember Dead Space looking good, it now looks even better. And if you remember Dead Space sounding good, it sounds even better too. Dead Space sits in the middle ground of recent remakes in more ways than one. It's not as old as Resident Evil 2 or 3, but not quite as recent as The Last of Us. I still believe the gold standard might be Capcom's revival of Resident Evil 2, which essentially created a new game from the foundations of some old but very good ideas, while The Last of Us Part 1 offers a chance to play the best version of an already good game. But Dead Space provides something in between. There's enough new in here that will make the first Dead Space obsolete, but not enough for me to think this will be a wholly new experience. Instead, there's depth where there wasn't before, and layers upon deliciously sick layers of extra detail to enjoy. These additions don't exactly breathe new life into Dead Space, as much as they give fans new and old alike something new and meaty to bite into.
Alright, so that right there was a journalist pretty much breaking down the new game Dead Space, and I know a lot of you guys are out there are so excited for a game like this to actually be a real remake. But we have so many games out there that have been remade, and Sony is trying to remake games and bring games back that we really not asking for. See, Dead Space will be a game that we're asking for. Like a Final Fantasy 7 will be something that the fans are asking for. Maybe like a Resident Evil 2 or something like that. Not Horizon Zero Dawn. What is the point of remaking something like that? What, at this point, you already have PS5 upgrades. It's on PC. There's no need for that. Clearly, that's a cash grab, y'all. There ain't no rocket science. Come on now. There's certain games that we just don't need as a remake. Now, we can just name a ton of games right now that you guys would like to see them remake. Not no Horizon. You know, not even The Last of Us. It was like this game have been remastered and remade so many times. It was just let's move forward on other remakes on older games that we can bring back from PS1. So I think I'm pretty much leave it right there. So if you guys would like to jump into the PlayStation Plus premium ecosystem, pretty much cloud gaming on your PC, click the link down below. And if you would like to jump into the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate ecosystem, click the link down below. Only PC. You know, it's not gonna work for mobiles. I take that back. Game Pass will work on mobile, but the PlayStation Plus Premium won't. So Game Pass will work on stuff like mobile, PC, Steam Deck, you know, your console, you know, even some people have TVs now. So you can actually play Game Pass so many different ways. So Xbox is actually bringing that value to the gamers out there. They are for the gamers, but you know, Sony is still trying to work on stuff like that. So we'll get back to that whenever they decide to bring out a PlayStation Plus Premium mobile app. But as of right now, you can only play PlayStation Plus Premium on your PC, laptops, and probably Steam Decks right now. And if you guys would like to order games or whatever for the low, you can click the link down below, Gamefly, and pretty much rent games. So you guys can pretty much test them out before you actually go out and spend that extra 70 or whatever buying games on PS5. And if you don't like it, you can return it and try another one for the low. So till next time, guys, make sure you smash that like, that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you guys can be notified on all of the new latest and greatest news in these gaming streets. Thank you and peace.